Hello friends, this is lecture number 4 from the chapter How Do Organisms Reproduce. In this lecture, we are going to talk about the different methods of contraception, sexually transmitted diseases and some major sexually transmitted diseases, the names of which you need to know. And along with that, we will be discussing about female feticide, what are the steps taken by the governments in order to curb it. And also we will be talking about what are the advantages of sexual reproduction over asexual reproduction. So let's get started. Method of contraception. What do you understand by the word contraception? It means avoiding pregnancy. So there are different methods which can be used. The first method is known as the barrier method. Now in this method, as the name suggests, a barrier is used which prevents the union of the egg and the sperm. The barrier can be a condom in males and diaphragm in females. The second method is known as a chemical method. When we say a chemical method, it involves the use of medicines which may be oral, that is taken through the mouth, or vaginal, which are placed in the vagina at the time of sexual contact, which kill the sperms, and the oral medicines are meant to prevent ovulation, so that if there is no egg, obviously there will be no fertilization, and if the sperms are not able to reach up to the egg, then also fertilization is not possible. The third method is known as intrauterine contraceptive devices. This is also known as IUCD. A very common example of IUCD is a copper T, which is placed inside the uterus of the female. Now there is a property, if there is any foreign object present inside the uterus, fertilization cannot take place. So that is how copper T helps by preventing fertilization, pregnancy can be avoided. The next method is known as the surgical method. So surgical means it involves a small surgery which is not at all risky. It can be of two types, vasectomy, which is done in the males, and tubectomy, which is carried out in females. Vasectomy, we have already learned about the structure of the human male reproductive system, and you already know what is the vas deferens. In vasectomy, the vas deferens is cut and the two ends are tied so that the sperms are not able to travel through the male reproductive system, so they cannot be transferred to the female system. That is how it helps. And in tubectomy, the two fallopian tubes are cut and tied so that the egg does not enter the uterus for fertilization. So that is how the surgical method helps in preventing pregnancy. Then the next topic is another important topic, sexually transmitted diseases. Diseases which are spread through sexual contact with an infected person are known as sexually transmitted diseases. These diseases are of various types, but in your syllabus we need to know the names of two diseases which are caused by bacteria. So you need to remember gonorrhea and syphilis. These are two STDs which are spread by bacteria, and two diseases which are caused by viruses, which are warts and HIV/AIDS. So these are two diseases caused by bacteria which are spread through sexual contact, and again two diseases caused by viruses which are spread by sexual contact. Then the next topic here is the female feticide, a very important topic, especially when it comes to the Indian context. We all are aware about the fluctuating gender ratio. So what is the cause behind this? What is the main reason behind this? The reason is that people do not want a girl child, and for doing this they carry out surgical abortions or surgical termination of pregnancies in order to prevent the birth of female child, and that is what is known as female feticide. Now in order to curb this practice, the main method is by educating people. People should be aware that this is not something which is good, and girl and boy, they are equal in all prospects. So government has taken various steps. Prenatal sex determination has been banned in India. So whenever you visit any ultrasound center, you will see a board over there which says that prenatal sex determination is not done here. That is the initiative by the Indian government in order to check this malpractice of female feticide. The last topic of this chapter, the advantages of sexual reproduction as compared to asexual reproduction. In the very first lecture, we discussed that whenever sexual reproduction occurs, there are two parents which are involved and two gametes come together to form one zygote. So the main advantage of sexual reproduction is that it results in the production of variations. The main advantage of sexual reproduction is that it helps in the production of variations. So variations are produced only in sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, the offspring is the exact copy of its parent. No variation at all. And it is variation which in the long run results in evolution. So whatever life forms we see around us today, they are a result of variations and evolutions. So that is why sexual reproduction is very important as compared to asexual reproduction. But that doesn't mean that asexual reproduction is not important. It has its own important role to play. But when we compare the two, yes, sexual reproduction carries more weightage. So this is all from this chapter from my end, and I hope you've understood all the important terms and all the important topics based on the chapter how do organisms reproduce.